Good evening, everyone. Greetings to you from Thailand. Today is a special day because I will be reviewing with you just the top lessons that I was able to gain and receive from this year. So currently I am 4 years old as a Buddhist monk. That means I completed 4 rains retreat here in Thailand, and you are seeing myself grow right in front of your eyes, and I just want to say thank you for coming along on this journey. And again, I did not think that I would be staying in the monastery for this long. It's been quite the experience, but I am so honored to be able to share with you all just the things that I've been able to go through, some of the wisdom that I'm able to pull from the life inside the monastery, and hopefully it can benefit you as well. So together we can grow with one another, and continually I'm hoping that we have more of these kind of sessions, but in no particular order. These are the top tips that I've learned and gained from this year. Impermanence. This is a concept that we've been talking for quite some time, that in life things are always changing and nothing stays consistent. However, this year for me, this teaching just came blaring through, and it brought this lesson to the forefront. And what am I talking about for myself is really just a couple months ago. I haven't shared this at all, but really I had an incident where I was rushed to the emergency room here in Thailand, and I thought it was the end for myself. So let's talk about the incident at hand. So where we stay is in a place called a kuti. It's just a small hut or a small sleeping area that we each have. And on this particular day, I noticed that there were ants on the wall. And because we live in the forest, this is not something uncommon. But what was uncommon were that these ants were just carrying eggs. And then also there was another stream of ants on the wall that were a different breed or a different species. And it just kept coming. So for me, I was speaking to my brother monk, and I'm not even too clear on the details, but he said some of the home remedies would be helpful, such as spraying a certain scent, or I'm not sure, but I just remember that I think I sprayed or dropped some water just to see if it will scare the ants away. But when I did that, the ants for some reason just came together and started attacking one another. And it was so scary because this incident just kept spreading, and it went through the walls. And then all of a sudden, within a few seconds, we noticed that it was coming through the floor. And it just felt like a scene of like Jumanji, like a scary movie, and it was spreading so fast. And this is a tiny quarter, and I sleep on the ground, and these ants are coming, and they were not 4 ants, 5 ants, but this was like hundreds and thousands of ants just coming. So immediately just took my stuff and went outside. So after an hour or so, I came back to the kuti with my brother monk, and he went inside to survey if it was okay for us to sleep there for the night. And as he was doing that for me, I was waiting at the steps outside. And what I did not know at this point was that I was stepping on a mound of ants, and I was getting bit. And this was complete pitch dark out there because, again, we're living in the forest. And I just noticed a lot of stinging sensation, and I started to wipe everything off of my legs. But I couldn't see anything, so I just did the best that I could. We grabbed our stuff because there were still ants in the kuti, and then we found another place just to rest for that moment. And then within 20 minutes or 30 minutes, then my entire legs just started to get hot. And I knew I just needed to take some allergy medication. So we walked into the dining area, took some medication, and then my brother monk just noticed that, hey, you're getting very red. And the redness that came from my legs spread all the way to my neck and then went up to my face, and my eyes were just bloodshot. At this time was very scary because I have severe allergies with bee stings, and I did not know that ant stings would be the same thing or have that same effect. So immediately things started to get hot. My breath started to be very shallow, and it was quite scary. So then my senior monk came, and then we got rushed to the emergency room. And keep in mind, when we're at the top of the forest, it takes an hour or an hour and a half just to get to the local hospital. But that evening was just very scary, and I did not know what was going to happen. I would not know if I would have made it. And I just remember in the car, my brother monk is sitting next to me, and we're in the back and going down, and he just kept telling me to relax, slow down your breathing, just to meditate, connect with our master, and really stay grounded and stay centered, because if you do freak out, then it can spread even faster. So for me, I'm just closing my eyes and getting as quiet and still as possible. And I noticed my mind was just blank. And the only thing, I don't know, at that moment that came to my mind was really, I turned to my brother monk and I said, because he's helping me, this is Longpi Michael, and he's helping me to write books. And I just looked at him and I said, whatever books that we are working on, if I do not make it, please release it and share it with the world. And then we drove to the hospital. Luckily, I made it in time. They gave me the injection and I stayed overnight. But this incident of impermanence was just so real. I remember waking up that next morning and they gave us like porridge that was so plain. However, it was the best meal I've ever had in my life. And I was just so grateful and so honored to just be alive. And sitting here and reflecting, for me, the thing that crossed my mind and that's just stuck with me is really the work that I want to do to help to support the world is not finished yet. And during the time that I still have this life, I want to share, I want to give as much as possible. So like I said in the introduction, where to be able to sit here and to review the things that I've learned and the wisdom that I gain and to share it with you, and hopefully it helps your life. This is a dream come true, and I wouldn't be, and I would not ask for anything else. So with great honor, with great humility, I again just want to thank each and every person. And I'm grateful to be alive. So if you still have this life, I would say use it to your fullest capacity, because you don't know when would be your last day. Follow through on your dreams. I'm using this sentence very strategically. And it's not just to follow your dreams, but it's actually to follow through, do the work. It's not about just having an idea, ruminating on that thought of what you want to do, and then not acting on it. And for me, this came to reality because we launched a book called The Buddhist Cleanse, the 1-day spiritual detox. How that came about is really when we're staying at the Pape meditation retreat. People will come to do a 3-day retreat and to learn with the Buddhist monks. They always have a great time. They're in an environment in the forest that is calm and still, that is very new for them to train their mind. However, after this experience, then when people go back home, they struggle with the meditation a bit, and they always reach out to us and ask us when we go back home, what can we do, or what tools can we utilize to repeat or continue our meditation experience that we had here at Pape, but back home. And for me, I noticed that what people are missing is really when you're doing your meditation, pursue that. It's wonderful. But the piece that many people are missing is the precepts. When they're coming here, they have to hold the 8 precepts. That means that they are no killing, no stealing, no intoxicants, no lying, no false speech. They're sleeping in a low mattress. They're not eating dinner. And they're also not wearing any makeup or anything that is flashy or to beautify themselves. And this precept that they all take helps to support their meditation. So then I came up with the idea to really write this book with the support and co-author of Longpi Michael. And he is so wonderful at that. And for us is, I'm not a writer. I'm not a professional writer. Longpi Michael is not a professional writer, but really we have the heart to want to support and help other people on their spiritual path. So for us, we just came together and we diligently started to brainstorm. We started to outline this book idea, and then we started to write. And each day, this writing went from bullet points to outlining, to writing a single paragraph, and then writing multiple paragraphs, adding headings and titles, and now whole chapters. And we did this for almost a year, and we took our time. And each step really was a learning experience for us. Some days the writing was great, wonderful. Some days, many days, the writing was not great, and that's okay too, but we just knew we wanted to fully develop our skills, so no rush, and also because our intention is there. So each day for us, then the wisdom is just put your head down and do the work. Each day, do something that gets you one step closer to your goal. And in our case was really taking out a sheet of paper and just starting to write and making this a daily habit. Another thing that I would add too is then you don't have to announce this to the world. We never went out there and say, hey everyone, guess what we're doing? This is so fun, it's so exciting, but I mean, it's wonderful that you're excited, but for me, what I find is that it just took away your energy to the place where it needs to be put. And where it needs to be put is in the actual work and in the actual doing. So again, with this then, we just kept going at it, and we were able to launch the book this year, and it's been doing wonderful and people are benefiting from it. So whatever dreams that you have, I would say keep your head down, do the work, and next thing you know, it will be done and you will have something tangible. You're not just selling an idea and a concept and yeah, it's fun, but nothing happened. You didn't produce anything. And what you need to do is just get to work, and then hopefully you can bring this thing out into the world. And I believe in you, and I think it's possible. So keep going. Don't attach to outcomes. This is probably one of the biggest pitfalls when I see people doing their work, because they're too engaged in, or worrying, let's use the right words, worrying about what people are going to think. How is it going to be received? What is the analytics, or what is the numbers? But for me is that those things can be important to give you feedback of the work. That's very different. But how it's received from the world, for me, I just feel like that focus is not the primary. Because if that is the primary, then it takes you away from this moment. And when you're away from this moment, you're not giving it what needs to be given, and you're not giving it your best. So then, if we're not focusing on the outcome, then what do you focus on? I would say actually focus on your craft and actually focus on the process of doing the work. Enjoy what you are doing. Like I said earlier, when we're writing the books, is we just fell in love with it. And we just knew that we are developing our skill each time. When I'm making content and when I'm sharing for you out into the world like this, how it does or how it performs, I could care. I genuinely could care less. But if it helps someone, good. If it does not resonate with you and it's not your cup of tea, wonderful. Keep moving. It's not important. But for me is I can control what I can control. And what I control is that I bring my best foot forward to the world. And each time that I put something out and I'm learning about how to share better, how to language the Dhamma in a way that actually resonates with people, that is effective, that is practical, simple, and that they can use it. This is the craft for me. And keep learning about yourself and the process. Another thing too, if you're not connected to the outcome, then connect with the intention. Why are you doing this in the first place? And for me is why I continue to do my craft and share with the world, like I said, is because I have this amazing opportunity in the monastery. I get to train myself. I get to practice meditation. I get to live a life of purity, to study the Dhamma. I'm around amazing brother monks and teaching monks who are so wise with decades of experience. And they're teaching me on a daily basis. And with that, then I want to share what I've gained with the world. So in order to help them suffer less. Because for me, I just didn't understand a lot of things. I had to teach myself and I had to learn myself. So if these kind of wisdoms and these kind of teachings can save someone from heartache, I'm all about it. And let's share it openly. So for those who are pursuing their craft, like I said, do not worry about the outcome, but put the focus where it belongs. Create your own game. Nowadays, everyone has an opinion. Everyone has a way that they want you to live your life. And I understand that it's coming from a good place because they want to support us. They've been through challenges and maybe they think they have a way that is maybe beneficial for us. So I get that piece. But the other piece is that they may not know. And what I find is that in this life, You have the ability to create your own games. Just because everyone is doing a certain thing this way does not mean you have to do it. I can't tell you how many times I get input of people coming up to me and telling me, you should do a Zoom. You should teach at this place. You should teach at this way. You should launch this social media platforms because you can get 1 million views. You can get 1 billion views. You know? You can become famous. You can do a course. You can do, no, no, I'm not interested, and this is not what I'm here for. And people have a set way and a formula that works because everyone else is doing it. But for me, that is one track, and like I said, that is okay, but it's not for myself. Myself is, I know that my nature is a bit different. The way I was designed is just as an extreme introvert. I'm a recluse, a hermit that likes to be by himself. Hence, I'm just out here alone doing this kind of thing. I'm in the middle of the forest. I don't like to be in large crowds. So speaking to you on a one-on-one basis like this is more preferable. I don't like to be the center of attention in a room where everyone is watching me and it makes me a bit too anxious. Can I do it? Yeah, that's easy. But for me, I do not have to do that. And what I find is that for your own life, when you know yourself, then you can start to create an environment that helps to support you and to honor you. But just because everyone else is doing it, just because it's working, doesn't mean that it works for me. And also, then the people who are doing the things that they're doing, are they happy? And this is an important question. And the things that I choose to do, the endeavors that I pursue, is then I ask myself, does it make me happy? Does it bring me peace and calm? Do I feel proud of the kind of things that I put out there? And then my answer is yes. And maybe it does not get the attention or the praise or the good. Good, because we do not need it. And for me, it comes back to a sustainability thing. Don't do things just because everyone's doing it, but really do it because it fits you and it honors your nature. So create your own game. Base your decisions off the end goal. And like many people, when you are pursuing your own path, you're gonna get faced with so many opportunities that will open the door for this way, or to go that way, or to meet different people. Then how do you know how to make the proper decision? And for me, I would say base it again off the end goal. And you, in order to do this, need to know what is your end goal and what is your destination. And for myself, what is important to me and how I make all decisions is based off of my monkhood. Me being in the saffron robes, getting to train myself in the monastery, this is primary goal number 1. And I want to continue my monkhood long. So anything that is being presented to me, whether it's a teaching, whether it's a traveling or a new opportunity, I always come back to this part. And this part is, by taking this action, by going down this path, does it help my monkhood, Or does it actually get in the way, and there's a possibility that it can jeopardize me being or living in this kind of lifestyle? And for me, I will not do that, and at any cost. So know your values, know what's important to you, and know where you're going. Because if you do not know this, then you're going to take shortcuts. And something flashy comes along, something with praise and attention and fame, then you'll go this way. And then a new opportunity to network, and then you'll go that way. But don't look at things from a short term. You can get there, but again, what you're risking is a foundation or foundational issue that can impact the end goal that is the most important. Along with this, I would add to have integrity and don't compromise. It's so easy now because there are so many paths that we can take that will make whatever work you're doing seem like it's going faster. But for me, I just see it as the opposite, where slow down. Stillness is the key to success. Get clear, and this is the word, be pure. Know your intention and live by that intention. And what I notice with my work is that maybe it may not reach whatever goal that people deem as successful, but what I do know is successful is that I can sleep at night because I did not compromise myself. I did not compromise my values and my morals and my integrity. And what that does is, the real result is I can respect myself, and I have worth, and I have value. And when I speak in front of people, then it just shines through. And this is the real benefit. It's not flashy. There are no metrics involved in it. But for me, this is the biggest gift. So do not cut corners. Bonus tip is ground yourself. I'll keep saying this over and over, but for you to pursue your dreams and live a healthy, successful life, however big your dream is, I would say then your foundation needs to be even bigger and also deeper. So then you can go the distance. One of the things that is so helpful is just keep making a schedule for yourself that will help to support you, that helps you to develop a habit, and so you do not fall off the track. Also, as a side note, is come back to meditation. Make a practice every single day to clear the dirt and the debris that you collected from that day. Otherwise, you, as the instruments for the work you're trying to do in this world, will be tainted. And it's not so clean, it's not so pure, and it's not as powerful as it can be. And for myself, is I would say we need you in this world. And the more you are healthy, the more you are solid, and you can navigate the ebbs and flow of this life, the impermanence of this life. There are some days that are just torturous, challenging, and we're going to be hit with different obstacles. And when you have a strong foundation in a spiritual practice, then you will be fine. So keep your foundation very solid. So there you have it. It is getting cold, it's getting dark, but I thought it was so important, and I'm honored to have this time with you. Hopefully my journey into the monastery is helpful for you. So please use these tools and improve your life. Continue to give suggestions, continue to share your stories, because it can help other people who are out there. But my hope is that I can continue with my monkhood longer, that I can train myself better to be more pure, and that I can share with all of you out there, and we can go on this spiritual path together. We can inspire each other. Yes, and I use the word inspire because your stories inspire myself too. And let's just put our heads down, support one another, and do the work. So as always, greetings to you all the way from Thailand. Hope you are all safe, and sending you all my wishes, all my blessings, that you are safe, happy, and healthy. Sadhu.